Summers here are literally brutal, man. Golly, I'm hot. So I'm on my way to Uptown right now to meet up with Ken so I can get some new pictures of me with Harley. I'm always taking pictures of other people's and always taking pictures of my bike. It's rare I get somebody to take some photos of me. I usually take pictures of myself, but it's always nice when someone's willing to do a shoot of me, so I'm pretty excited. He just called me and told me it's extremely packed down there. It is difficult finding somewhere to park. Now me, I ain't gonna have problems finding nowhere to park because I'm on a motorcycle, but it can be difficult to find somewhere to park in your car when you go into an uptown or downtown, so I definitely understand that. The location I found is pretty cool. I'm hoping we still get to use that location, but we might have to find a different location if he can't find parking. Oh my God, it's hot. I could feel the sweat running all over my body. Man, this heat though, what is it, like 100? The wind blowing on the parts of my skin that are showing is hot. Woo! The highway didn't even give me a breeze. Okay, I'm here.
Infinit Ryda.
Oh my goodness, woo! Y'all like my new bags? We'll do a review video about those bags after they've been on there for a little bit longer, and I'll tell you all about them. But I'm out here on V. Yes, I started recording yesterday because I was supposed to go get a photo shoot done, which did happen, kind of. But that's what brought me into talking about this video you're watching right now, is what's it like to ride your motorcycle when it's hot as balls outside. So it sounds like they got something going on over here in Charlotte Motor Speedway. I hear noise and things going on. So we're gonna get out of here. Nope, that's not a curve. The heat index today has to be like over 100 degrees. That's my thoughts. It's well over 100 degrees. The last 2 days have been brutal when it comes to the heat index. That's why you see me right now without a jacket that I typically have on. I do have some protection on, but it's extremely minor. I have on my Icon Striker vest, which honestly is making my chest area hotter than it would be if I had on my fully mesh jacket, which kind of surprised me. This thing's supposed to flow air. I don't feel no airflow. I just feel sweat dripping off of my man boobs. Like, that's all I feel right now. My back is already soaking wet, 100% drenched. Like, it's so wet right now. So when it comes to riding when it's hot as hell outside, it does affect your riding ability because of the fact that you're extremely hot. You're trying to find any way possible to cool off. So number one, you're not going to be thinking right when it comes to what gear to wear, because right now my arms aren't protected. You know, typically I'd have on some shorts probably too, but yeah, I got on jeans, and it's just I'm not in my same state of mind as I would be if it was like 70 degrees outside. I typically want to go faster when it's hot outside. I don't want to stop at lights. I don't want to deal with traffic, any of those things, because sitting still is brutal. It's extremely brutal. Now, at least when I'm moving, I feel some type of airflow, but the airflow is hot. It's kind of like somebody got on a huge heating fan. Like, it's just blowing hot air at me. Like, this air ain't cool at all. I'm actually wondering, because I'm in North Carolina, I'm wondering, where are all my other riders at? Like, what states and cities and parts of the country are y'all in? And how hot is it right now, this time of year, where you are. I know there's some crazy ass heat wave going across the country, but it's never this hot in North Carolina at this time. It's usually like a lot cooler. Like yeah, it's bad. It's bad. Literally sweat just rolled down my face into my eyeball. What I'm doing right now is literally torture. There's heat coming from up above, there's heat coming from below, which is like toasting my taint, and I got on gloves that are hot. I need to find some nice like mesh or high flow gloves. The ones I found that I liked, they don't have my size nowhere because they don't make them no more. So when I get home, I'm getting all the way naked and just gonna sit in front of the van. Wet, naked, with AC and fan would feel so good right about now. Wet, naked, AC and fan. 4 things. It'd be nice if they had air conditioned motorcycles like that. That should become a thing, with cooling seats, so I don't end up with swamp nuts. Like, just have nice cooled seats. When it's these temperatures outside, it honestly make you not want to ride. Like, if gas prices weren't as high as this heat index, then I would be in the car right now with some AC going and some music playing and all that good stuff, instead of on the bike burning up and roasted. There's not a lot of people out on the road, I'm noticing too, on their motorcycles, because it's so hot. You don't want to ride your motorcycle until it cools off. I feel like perfect temperatures for riding a motorcycle is anywhere between that 67-ish to maybe 80 degrees temperature. When you start reaching 90, 91, 92, and it feels like 101, for instance, tomorrow it's supposed to be 101 degrees. What with all this gear? What? And the heat coming off the engine? I'm pretty sure the bike is getting extremely hot too. That's the other thing. Those really high heat temperatures aren't that great for air-cooled motors, because how does that motorcycle cool off? With air. And if the air that's blowing into the bike is hot, it's not cooling off shit. Like, it's a fact. So like my Ducati Monster, which is air-cooled and it's hot anyway, and my Sportster, my Evo Sportster, that's not water-cooled, that's air-cooled as well. The airflow that those will be receiving are not going to cool those bikes properly, which means they're not going to perform to the best of their ability. And neither am I. I'm not going to perform to the best of my ability with sweat pouring into my face, with how hot it is and how frustrating I'm getting, and all I'm thinking about is getting home as fast as possible. All those things come into play when it's extremely hot out. My advice to everyone is take it easy. You know, if you know you can't handle the heat or the heat index, don't ride in those temperatures, because last thing you want to do is come out without your gear on, and you're typically someone who rides with the full gear. Because another thing that people do when it's extremely hot out is they'll start throwing on those half helmets, which I do not believe in half helmets at all. I'm sorry if some of y'all rock the half helmets, to each his own. I just don't believe in them. There's plenty of videos out on why I don't believe in those. They're not from me, they're from other people, such as Dan the Fireman. He's got a great video, I think it was him, about half helmets versus full face helmets. I've always been a strong believer, if you're going to wear a helmet, wear a full face. If you're going to wear a half helmet, you might as well just not have a helmet on. And I know there's kind of mixed feelings and mixed signals regarding that, and everybody's going to have their own opinion. We're all opinionated, it is what it is. But you know, when it's this hot out, you start sacrificing safety for comfort, and that's not always a good thing. So, you know, if you're going to ride in these heat, just be comfortable with how you're riding. I mean, I used to ride in shorts and just a vest anyway, but be comfortable with how you're riding. Ride the way you typically would ride. If it gets way too hot, pull over. Keep some cold or frozen waters in your backpack or in your saddlebags or somewhere. And you know, you might have to pour it on yourself. You might have to take a sip. You might have to cool off, because the hotter you get, the more risk you're taking on that bike. Trust me. Try to find routes with a lot of trees. where you're going through some shaded areas. Usually when you go through shaded areas and areas with valleys and things like that, it's going to be a lot cooler than if you're just out on the highway or out in the blazing sun. If you really need to take a ride that day, go out after 7:30, maybe 7:30 or 8 o'clock, when things are about to cool down, when the sun's about to set, when it's not at its highest temperature. Or go out early in the day before it's reached that high that you're going to experience. It feels nice and cool right here. This, I'm feeling a little bit of a cool breeze. Let me know some tips that you guys take for staying cool when you're riding on these extremely hot days. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, comment down below. Let's get engaged in this topic, especially since we're coming up on these extremely hot months. Share the content and get this video a big old thumbs up. And yeah, I'm gonna check y'all out in the next one. I'm about to hit this nice little shaded road where it should be a little bit cooler, where I'll be able to open it up and feel that breeze. So I hope y'all staying cool. Love y'all. Deuces.